Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick 9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about Gilligan's Island, more specifically about an episode of Gilligan's Island called The Friendly Physician. I've recently been out because I had a baby girl unexpectedly. She came about 3.5 weeks too early. She's not premature. She weighed 6 pounds 4 ounces and is in wonderful health. So I wanted to get back into the videos now that I've had about a week off. Essentially taking care of baby, helping the wife, and so forth. So let's get right to it. The Friendly Physician aired April 7th, 1966. It's the second season of Gilligan's Island. The episode is 29. Now, Dr. Balankoff is a mad scientist. He created a contraption where he can switch the brains of two individuals, one between the other. And so he tries to find people to experiment on, and that's why he's on Gilligan's Island. He tries to get the castaways back. He finally does. He gets them into his old, creepy little mansion and is able to do his experiments on them. But I want to pay very special attention to around 3/4 of the episode where we notice that there's a cat and a dog in the mansion. Now you can even see kind of toward the middle that Gilligan meets this dog and is right next to him. It seems like they're little pals, and Gilligan starts to say, wait a second, this is a little weird because this dog is purring and it's actually meowing. And that's a little strange, right, Skipper? I mean, how long have we been on the island where cats and dogs do different things? Then they find out that the cat is barking and so forth. So they suspect that something is really going on and maybe this scientist is mad after all. Now, I took a good look at this dog and a certain amount of familiarity came to mind. Now, if you're a fan of movies in the 70s and you paid attention to this dog, you may think, I've probably seen this dog before. And I love for people down below to give a little guess to see who they believe it is, but I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised when I tell you. You'll be surprised to know that the dog in this episode of Gilligan's Island is the very same dog who later became famous as Benji in the 1974 movie. Now, his real name was Higgins, and at the time of Gilligan's Island, he was already a seasoned animal actor. He was best known then at the time for playing quote-unquote dog on the sitcom Petticoat Junction, and he had a trainer named Frank Inn who got the dog into many guest spots, and finally he wound up on Gilligan's Island, which is a really cool behind the scenes fact that I know many people don't know about. I know that some of you are thinking, why is his coat different looking on Gilligan's Island than in Petticoat Junction, which is similar to the movie Benji? Well, that has to do with TV sets in the 1960s, lighting, and lower quality film that often made his coat look darker, sometimes even grayish or brown, compared to how it looked like in person. Also, in Petticoat, they filmed outdoors, mostly in brighter light, so his tan and cream tones showed up even more clearly. Also, remember, a decade almost after Gilligan's Island was when Benji took over, and Higgins was older. His coat had lightened with age, and dogs often gray around the muzzle and face, and the color grading of the 1970s film stock made his fur appear more golden brown than it had in black and white or early colored TV. So he wasn't a different dog, it is the same Higgins. It also applies to other things like coats, wardrobe, couches, things like that, and how lighting hits it, where some people will swear that I'm wrong and that it's not the same piece of furniture, but it is. It just has to do with lighting, black and white tones, and film quality. Now, Higgins was a mixed dog breed, and he was born December 1957. I want to let you know the dates because I know some people may say, wait, isn't this 1966? And then Benji came out all the way in the 1970s. How long did this dog live? Well, as I mentioned, he was born December 1957, and he passed away November 1975. Of course, the movie Benji came out in 1974, and so yes, Higgins lived to be almost 18 years old, which is quite long for a dog. In fact, we could say that he is elderly, or he was elderly at the time, and still working in Hollywood and making the movie Benji. You could say that that was the pinnacle of his career. But if you ask me, I would tell you that the pinnacle of his career was actually appearing on Gilligan's Island. Because, I mean, what better show than the TV show Gilligan's Island? And since this movie was in 74 and Benji died the next year, or essentially Higgins died in 1975, who took over the role? Where the role was taken over by his daughter, Ben Jean, who looked very much like him. So nice fun fact there. It was widely believed that Higgins was a mixture of a miniature poodle, a cocker spaniel, and schnauzer. By the way, I do have a mini schnauzer myself. And he was rescued as a puppy from the Burbank Animal Shelter by, of course, Frank Inn, who was his trainer. He started on Petticoat Junction, then moved on to Green Acres, the Beverly Hillbillies, Gilligan's Island, and of course, a film just all centered on him, Benji. So I think this is really interesting, really cool. Have you noticed this? Have you seen this? I mean, I've never seen this widely printed before, so I did want to bring it to all of you. And I think it's a really cool fun fact. I mean, it makes sense that a lot of these dogs who are actors are reused and so forth, so it would be interesting to maybe look at the cat or other characters and see what other productions they've been in. Thank you so much for your support as always, and for your love, especially about my growing family. And don't forget, everyone, to stay positive and, most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you so much to all my patron supporters, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Joanna R, Citizen Kane 359, Sally N, Daniel B, Jerry D, and Vito L. If you want to be on this list, make sure to check the link in the description, and thanks to all who support.